Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Take out your palettes because baseball is a work of art. An original composition in Toronto as a sweet-stroking artist applies powerful technique and becomes an abstract study in form and detail. A New York City auction of unknowns brings interested parties from all over. Who knows, maybe someone will discover another Rembrandt. Portrait of a Cincinnati artist reveals the young man behind the canvas. It's a startling perspective on a collage of subjects. Still life in Atlanta as an old master recalls his classic contribution to the Cooperstown Museum. So behold this masterpiece, one and all, aptly titled This Week in Baseball. Now in our second decade.
Hi, I'm Willie Vikes. I like This Week in Baseball because I'm going to be on This Week in Baseball.
How about that? Welcome to New York City for baseball's 1987 amateur draft.
The draft started back in 1965 as a way of equalizing the talent that each of the organizations would have available to them for signing. Before was open recruitment, and now they pick in rotation based on their standings so that the teams that need the most help have the first opportunity to get that help through the draft.
Okay, we're ready to go then with the first round. The first selection goes to Seattle.
Seattle selects number 1154, Fuller High School, Cincinnati, Ohio, George Kenneth Griffey, center field.
Seattle selection is George Kenneth Griffey, center fielder from Moeller High School in Ohio.
He kind of emulates me a little bit. He swings sort of like I do, but he has both hands on the bat, as they would probably say a lot, you know, because I have a tendency to take my hand off, but he doesn't. And he hits for a lot more power. Between his junior and senior year, he grew about 4 or 5 inches and gained almost 40 pounds. And he was a lot quicker, and they wanted him to run tailback, I think, in Moeller. Moeller's one of the premier football schools in the Cincinnati area, and he just decided to play baseball.
Ken Jr. became the first son of a major leaguer to be chosen as the #1 draft pick. And so for the young Griffey, who signed right away, it's off to the minors and the start of his career. After Pittsburgh selected Mark Merchant #2, it was on to the third pick.
Minnesota selection is Willie Anthony Banks, right-hand pitcher, St. Anthony's High School in Jersey City, New Jersey.
My background, you know, it wasn't the best, but, you know, I'm satisfied. I never complain about what I didn't get or what I have. But me growing up in a tough environment helps me become a better person, you know, because I seen what, you know, drugs and, you know, hanging out with the bad people can do. So I just leave all that alone and just hang out with good people.
At age 18, Banks is already being touted as a future great. With a fastball better than 90 miles per hour, he's compiled 169 strikeouts in 85 innings. But speed is only one commodity.
Pitcher has to have 3 things: poise, balance, and rhythm, and Willie has that. What makes his fastball such an outstanding fastball is that he doesn't throw it flat. To have a good fastball, you have to have movement on it. The ball has to ride in on you, and he has tremendous arm speed, and that's what makes his fastball so excellent.
No matter how many times people told him, yeah, you're going to be one of the top picks in the country, until it's actually done, you don't know. You know, he could have went down the 8th pick and 10th pick. It would have been a very big letdown because so many people had told him you're one of the top 4. He has supreme confidence in his ability. He knows that what he has to do is go into the minors, work hard, do the same things, and he can be in the majors in 3 or 4 years.
My family wasn't really blessed with, you know, wealth, so that's, in a way, that's good, you know, because I'm not spoiled. And, like, I can't just go out there and get a Jaguar if I want or something like that, so I have to work for it. And, you know, that gave me good work habits, you know, to work for what I get.
He's a super talent. They only wish he would get to the Oakland A's, but I think he'll be gone before we select.
Speaking of which, let's go to the Oakland A's front office, where preparation has been underway for the team's 11th pick in the first round.
We've spent the last 4 days putting players in order. We draft number 11th. We put the 11 players in order. We think that probably 8 of them
will surely be gone by the time it's our draft. We are hoping that we can acquire a young left-handed pitcher by the name of Chris Myers from, I believe it's Plant High School in Tampa.
Baltimore selects negotiation rights to serial number 0708 Myers, Chris McCall, left-hand pitcher, Plant High School, Tampa, Florida.
If he is not available and he's selected before us, we have great interest in a young high school outfielder from Shelby, Kentucky by the name of Tinsley.
Oakland.
Oakland selects number 1180.
Tinsley, Lee Owen, outfielder, Shelby County High School, Shelbyville, Kentucky.
Now, we're presently getting in touch with our first-round draft, Lee Owen Tinsley. Miss Tinsley, this is Mark Conklin with the Oakland A's. I just called to notify you that we just selected Lee as our first-round pick in the Major League Draft today.
Well, the draft is extremely important, particularly to a club like ours that depends on player development to fill most of its needs. And I think as time goes on, you'll find more and more clubs relying more and more heavily on the draft. The draft overall is important. The number one pick is important. That's where you have the highest probability of finding a future Major League player.
From here to the majors, who knows what the future holds? Next, this week's quiz, brought to you by the 1988 Chevy full-size pickup. From the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy trucks. Milwaukee rookie B.J. Surhoff was chosen number 1 in the 1985 amateur draft. In fact, 10 players picked in the first round that year are currently in the majors. By the way, can you name the first player selected in the very first draft held in 1965? Don't spend all day on this one. The agenda, tidings from Toronto's preeminent slugger. The Toronto Blue Jays boast a princely outfield trio, but credit George Bell with highest distinction. For the month of May alone, 11 homers and 31 RBIs. Moreover, Bell ranks among league leaders in nearly every offensive department. His goals topping 30 homers and 100 RBIs for the second straight season.
Bell is a pure hitter, like Bill Sharman's a pure free throw shooter when he played, or Larry Bird is a pure basketball player, or Gretzky, a great hockey player, the great one. George Bell has a bat where the ball just flies off, and you think you fool him one time, and the next thing he hits the pitch, 400 feet.
The trick is hit the ball in front. As soon you got a quick hand and you hit the ball in front, you go hit it out of the park. That's what I do. You check, sometimes when I hit the ball, jam, something like that, you go out of the park, it's because I push myself a little bit. So I hit it in front, no doubt about it, it's gone.
Doubtless, too, at the age of 27, Bell has become one of the league's premier hitters, a top gun in Toronto's attack for the top. Naturally, life with George is rarely dull. To Blue Jay teammates, Bell's fire and fury are a plus.
One good thing I can say about George is that his aggressiveness have rubbed off on a lot of guys. I mean, when he loses, he don't want to talk. He's one of the worst guys to be around in the world. And when he wins, sometimes he's the worst guy to be around, But you have to know George Bell in order to appreciate that, because all he wants to do is win. I know him personally, and I think a lot of guys on the team know him, and they know him as an aggressive, hard-nosed, winning ball player. And he's the guy I would definitely want to have on my ball club for years to come.
A lot of people think I'm mean because they can look my face and they say that's a mean guy. I'm not. I'm a nice guy, but when I'm playing, that's different. So they think because I'm mean in the field, I'm mean now, everywhere I go. It's different because after the game is over, I'm a total different person.
Somebody asked George, how many home runs are you going to hit, George? And George looked over at me and said, how many is Jesse going to hit? He said he's going to hit 35. George said, I'm going to hit 36. And if he hadn't hit 36 and I hit 35, that's a heck of a season for both of us.
This year, Toronto's outfield trio has already produced 37 homers. Seems a little friendly competition sure sparks powerful inspiration. Now to power and prodigy with Cincinnati's latest and greatest sensation.
That ball's hit very well to deep left center field. It is going to be a grand slam home run. Eric Davis has set a new National League record for home runs in the months of April and May, and he's also set a new National League record for grand slam home runs in a month. his third Grand Slam in the month of May.
Besides sparking the Reds with his far-reaching outfield heroics, Davis has already collected 19 homers and 52 RBIs. But enough of my recitation. Let's give Eric the floor to reveal some private thoughts.
Well, growing up in Los Angeles was tough. You know, growing up in South Central LA where, you know, the motto was survival. And baseball was a way for not only myself, but a lot of black athletes to get out of the ghetto. When Cincinnati called me the next day and told me they had taken me in the 8th round, then, you know, it was a joy just to say that I was drafted. But it was some situations where, you know, I thought I was going to be drafted by the Dodgers because they came to my house and told me they were drafting me #1 and all that. But I still didn't understand it. But, you know, as far as me being drafted in the 8th round, I can't say that somebody messed up or I should have been drafted in the 1st round because, you know, you really can't dictate what a player's going to do. You know, he always wanted to take that big shot. You know, he was always the big man in that particular, in whatever tough situation he wanted to be, you know, wanted the ball in that situation. And that's the type of player I was, you know, as far as basketball is concerned. And I feel that way now by playing baseball. In any clutch situation or a run needs to be driven in, I feel like I want to be there. When I got sent down the first time in '85, you know, that's when I really started to work because that's the first time I've ever been told that I couldn't perform at a certain level. And the only reason I did that is because I felt like I didn't get a chance to perform. I was sent down after having 80 at-bats or something like that, and I think the first 40 was the first 2 weeks, and then the other 40 was sparingly, you know, some here and some there. And then I just told myself that I'm not going to never let that happen again. You know, I'm going to go out and I'm going to work hard and you know, try to get my mechanics where they should be and take it from there. In 5 years, I would probably like to have, you know, anywhere from maybe about 200 and some home runs, about 400 or 500 stolen bases, and you know, have a couple World Series rings on my fingers.
Thanks a lot for those insights, Eric. And now we go to This Week in Baseball's Twib Notes from around the majors. The Necros finally did it. Cleveland's 48-year-old knuckleballer Phil Niekro beat Detroit for career win number 314, joining brother Joe of the Yankees for a record 530 victories as the winningest brothers in history. They passed Gaylord and Jim Perry, who pitched a combined 39 years. Marking the occasion, Ivy Niekro came to see her son break a record that he feels is safe in the baseball annals.
I just don't know if there's any other pitchers that's going to be able to break that. It's going to be a pitcher, two brothers who's going to play 18, 20 years in the big leagues. It's going to be two pitchers that aren't so much fastball pitchers that their arms may go at any day. Knuckleball pitcher, screwball pitcher that can go out there every 4 or 5 days, not have any arm problems. And besides, now they get some relief pitchers. All they want out of you is 5 or 6 innings. You're out of there. Where even when Joe came up and I was still pitching, that the thing was go out there and give me 8, 9 innings. You know, complete the ball game for me, win it for me. Now they're not looking for that now. So I don't think the pitchers from here on in are going to get to pitch as many innings as we used to 10, 15 years ago.
For the still thriving Necros, 530 wins and counting. And let's count Dwight Evans of the Boston Red Sox with the milestone he reached in a game against the Twins.
Well, the ball well hit toward right center field. Bernansky way back, leaps up and can't get it. Home run, Dwight Evans. Evans with his 9th home run and the 300th of his major league career.
Evans joins Jim Rice and Don Baylor among Boston's elite as the Sox become only the 3rd team ever to have 3 players in the lineup with 300 homers. Andre Dawson helped the Cubs put on a shower of power at Wrigley. In winning 2 out of 3 from Houston, Chicago scored 40 runs. Dawson collecting 5 homers and 13 RBIs. the Cubs saved their best for last. In the finale, they won 22-7, smacking 6 homers as the two teams combined for a league record 3 Grand Slams. Now let's punch out the answer to this week's quiz. Rick Mundy was selected by the Kansas City A's as the first player in the first ever amateur draft held in 1965. But his longest stint came as a Dodger when he played on 3 pennant winners. Before that, Mundy was with the Cubs, where he hit over 100 homers in 5 years, compiling the most productive numbers of his career. Part 2 of The Spirit of San Bernardino. Roving raconteur Warner Fussell files this report.
Mel, young and old, have been turning out in big numbers to see the Class A California League's San Bernardino Spirit, an independent team with no major league affiliation. The Spirit signed its own players, including ace reliever Todd Hayes, who was born deaf.
Well, I'm completely deaf in my left ear and half deaf in my right ear. My mom had the German measles when she had me, and she went to 5 different doctors, including a Catholic doctor. All five doctors told her to have an abortion. And since my mom having faith, she was raised as a Catholic lady or a Catholic woman or a Catholic mom. She had faith, and she said, I'm going to keep this baby no matter how it turns out to be.
Rookie manager Rich Dower selected Todd out of hundreds, not knowing he was deaf.
He's got tremendous stuff. I mean, he's got a great slider, a competitive fastball, 85 miles an hour, and he can throw strikes when he's behind. He's got major league pitches.
The Major League's only deaf pitcher was Dummy Taylor of the New York Giants. Outfielder Dummy Hoy, the Major's first deaf player, is often given credit for the instigation of umpires' hand signals. Todd Hayes usually wears a hearing aid when he pitches, but sometimes he turns it off when he's on the road or when he gets booed.
With my hearing aid, I hear the crack at the bat. Without my hearing aid, I can see the crack at the bat. Opening night, we had a big crowd here, 3,500, and I came in to relief. There was a lot of roar, so I had to turn it off so I can concentrate. And I left it off for the whole outing, and then when I turned it back on, then I heard this loud roar, and it was pretty nice to hear it.
Despite the odds, the Spirit and Hayes have excelled all season, thanks in part to the Spirit's batting coach and former big league flake, J. Johnstone.
This is my good friend here. Calls me Duracell.
Yeah. People kid you because they like you, and that's what I had to get him to believe. He thought that people were getting on him and kidding him about his problem because they didn't like him. I said, if they didn't like you, they wouldn't talk to you, Todd. So that's something that now he's accepted that, and he's performing well.
A 2-0 record, 6 saves, 2.01 ERA, and 27 strikeouts in 22 1/3 innings. Proud numbers and proud parents.
He don't pitch with his ear. Billy Kilmer didn't throw with his big stomach. He don't pitch with his ear.
There's only been 2 deaf Major League Baseball players. Hopefully I'm the 3rd.
23-year-old Todd Hayes, the Spirit of San Bernardino.
Time for This Week in Baseball's Flashback, brought to you by Gatorade, thirst aid for that deep down body thirst.
It's a great day for you. It's a great day for baseball. The best to you. Thank you very much, and I'm just glad it's almost over with. Thank you.
3-1 pitch. There's a drive into left field. That ball is going, and out of here. Henry Aaron has just tied Babe Ruth in the all-time home run parade. The record they said that couldn't be reached has just been reached by Henry Aaron.
Aaron wasted no time, hitting number 714 on opening day. But with the record breakers still to come, the pressure wouldn't let up.
Everywhere I went, of course, people were talking about it, but it didn't bother me at all. I just felt like eventually it was going to come. I just had to wait, and it was talked about. At least it gave the news media something to talk about.
And I'm just hoping that this thing will get over with tonight as quickly as I possibly can. Thank you very much.
5 days into the 1974 season and home in Atlanta, an anxious Aaron took on the Dodgers and Babe Ruth.
He's sitting on 714. Here's the pitch by Downing. Swinging. There's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
Hitting a baseball was relatively easy to me. I think it was just a matter of whatever I wanted to do in sports, in baseball. I had all of the talent that I wanted to have. You know, God gave me the talent to play the game. All I had to do was just exercise that talent, go out there and do all that I could to refine it. The most I weighed in baseball, my playing weight was 185 pounds, you know. So I was never a huge fella, you know, where some guys would weigh 210 and could muscle a ball out of the ballpark. Well, I had to finesse, I had to use my wrist, and had to depend on my knowledge as far as the game was concerned. My home runs went behind the fence, just scraped the fence, you know, and that would make the pitcher a little angry. And next time up, he said, well, he said, I almost got that ball by and threw me the same pitch again, you know. So I had something working for me.
An appraisal from the modest all-time home run king. And that's all for now, folks. We'll see you next week on This Week in Baseball.